second thing that you need to look at when looking at old Job, the story of Job, I like this one. You need to watch who you listen to when you're in an unexpected storm.
Amen.
Mess. As I said, Job and his 4 friends, they were sitting there looking at him. They probably got tired of being naked 7 days there looking at Job. Job had said all these things. He was complaining. They had not said nothing. If you could imagine for a minute, I'm going to go through what each one of them said. I'm going to summarize it for you. The first one that spoke, Elphazai Cain. If you could imagine, this is what he said. He said, "Now, Job, I know you're hurt, and I know you are in pain, but I just can't sit here and listen to you talk any longer. Now, you know God punish the unjust. You know He is a fair God, and I had a vision that He charged the angels with error. Who is it for you to sit here and say you have done nothing? You have no faults. To be honest with you, you need to find God and repent. You're wrong." Then Bildad came. He speaks and says something like this. He said, "Job, I rebuke you. You know God deals justly. And your sons probably died, your family probably died because they were sinners. You need to seek God and repent. Amen. After that, you will be restored. This is what my mom and my daddy told me. This is what I'm telling you, Job." Then the next man speaks, Zophar speaks. He doesn't give Job any more counsel. He doesn't help him anymore. He said, "Job, to be honest with you, my boys, what they told you is right. They told you to dead up straight on this truth, man. But to be honest with you, just to take it a little bit farther, I believe God didn't do enough to you. I believe you deserve more. You're a fool for trying to ask God His plans. You're a fool for trying to understand His knowledge. What makes you think He's going to respond to your measly self?" That is what his friends told Job. His friends came to judge instead of consoling. Have you ever been in a bad spot, a bad situation, and your friends give you some advice you didn't even ask for? And then when you ask for it, when they give it, you think they're going to give something to help you out, but they come judging you and putting you down as if they themselves are sinners. This is what friend Job had. You need to watch out for folks like that. These folks mean you no good. But Job reproached his friends after this. He said, "You don't come up in my house telling me something that I already know. You come up in my house telling me some advice that I didn't even ask you for in the first place. Tell me something new. You're only speaking like you're speaking because you're not in my situation. Right. If I was in your spot, I would say the same thing. I really would say the same thing. But Job told him, he said, "Get out. Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord." Make sure you watch out who you seek advice from when you are in an unexpected mess. It's just like Job, you can end up in a worse situation from listening to your friends instead of seeking God first. Right. Don't throw a pity party. Watch who you listen to. Watch who you talk to. Watch how you talk to folks when they're in an unexpected storm. The final thing, I'm not going to hold you long. This is the best thing that gives me comfort. God has a plan to get me out of my mess. That is the third thing. God has a plan to get me out of my mess. Sometimes when you're in a mess, God sends you wise counsel. He sends you a friend. He may send you an angel. He may send you a dream. And sometimes, like Job, God came Himself. For old Job, He sent a fourth man. His name is Elihu. He was a younger man. He got mad at the other 3 friends. He said, "You know what? I thought y'all would tell something Job wiser because y'all was old, and I thought old people had more wisdom. But after listening to y'all for a little while, y'all are some fools." Amen. That's what the young man said. He said, "Job, I'm a young man." But he said, "God sends me." He said, "I am a man that God has searched my heart. I fear God. And you need to sit here and prepare yourself and listen to me." He said, "God allows me to breathe. Job, I am a man just like you are. You need to sit back and listen." He says, "Job, you blame God. But God is always good. Even when you're suffering, Job, God is helping you. God made us all. God gives us songs to comfort us in our saddest time. God teaches us more than the animals. He gives us wisdom above the birds. But God does not answer you when you cry and you have hopeless faith. God had a message for Job. But while Job was complaining, he was not ready to hear God. So Eli taught Job that you need to shut up and listen. How many of us are complaining so much during our storm, during our unexpected time, that we can't even hear God to even help us come out of it? Amen. We're complaining so much that we're blocking the message. How about the next time? You be like the man on next Friday. You say, God tell you, shut up and don't say another word.
Amen.
And then God sit back, he'll say, who sent you, brother? Y'all remember that? Who sent you, brother? Who brought you this far? Who saved you when you could not save yourself? Amen. By looking at the book of Job, God finally answers Job and puts him in his place. He says, Job, don't doubt the wisdom of the Lord. Yes. You have spoken about things that you do not even know. Right. He said, Job, prepare yourself. I have a test for you. And you must answer me. Yes. Right. He tells Job who created the heavens and who created the earth. Yes. Who created the dawn and the weather, the storm and the rain that comes. Yes. He said who created the animals that walk across the land and swim in the sea. Who created all mankind and set the world into motion.